Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the home opener for Jefferson girls varsity basketball as the Jaguars take on the Southwest Lakers from West Bloomington, only on BEC-TV. Happy December, everybody. Alex Redding alongside of our broadcast crew, and also joining us tonight, a brand new voice in the broadcast booth, Calvin Amundsen Geisel. Good to have you aboard. You're a sophomore at Jefferson, and first basketball game for you. I mean, what should we be looking for here tonight? I mean, we got a really good matchup between the Lakers and the Jaguars. Should be a very exciting game, as the JV showed itself to be earlier, don't you think?
Yeah, it should be a pretty interesting game tonight.
Very interesting game. All right, let's look at what makes this game so interesting. And we're going to start with some player stats here first. So when you look at the scoring categories for Jefferson, there are three major assets to this Jaguar offense that are so potent. The first name that I'm thinking about is Caroline Heeman, number 33. 30 points on the season high of 20, averaging 15 points per game. Huge presence, especially down low for Jefferson. Abby Jo Nelson and Angelina Chappell, they both are over 20 points on the season, or at. Angelina Chappell with 20 and Abby Jo Nelson at 23 so far in this very young season. And Angelina Chappell averages 10 points a game. Abby Jo Nelson 11.5. So Jefferson, they can really get down to business and score and do it in many different ways. And my goodness, this core, when they get going, it's fun to watch, isn't it? And then we look at the Minneapolis Southwest Lakers. I mean, they've got some high-scoring talent, too, although probably not as much as Jefferson. If I'm looking at the Lakers, Virginia Johnson, number 13, 24 points so far on the season, and that was in the last only game that the Lakers played against Tartan. And so you already know that just based on that number alone, Virginia Johnson, she's riding a pretty big hot streak into this one. You also got to look out for number 22, Anya London, averaging 10 points a game, scored 10 in the last beating, as I just mentioned, at Tartan. So both of these teams coming off a couple of big quality wins. And then the other interesting fact about tonight's game that I'm going to point out, and Kelvin, you can, by the way, folks, follow along with us. These two teams are late bloomers. They love to shine in the second half, and depends on which side of the basketball, though. For Jefferson High School, it's their offense, and so far, Jefferson has amassed a whopping 108 points in the second half total amongst their team this season. And when you look at the Lakers, their specialty in the second half is on defense. They've only allowed 14 points in the second half so far against their opponent, and the only one, by the way, being Tartan. All right, so we do have some time left here in our pregame before we throw it down to the house. Let's go over some of the games that were recently played. We start with Jefferson's last contest on the road at South St. Paul. Dominant win last Tuesday, 75-36 was the score. And then we look at the crosstown rival for Jefferson, Kennedy. They were also on the road at Patrick Henry. They took Patrick Henry to task, 74-39. That game played last Wednesday. Minnehaha Academy hosted Ridgefield. And let's just say that it was all Redhawks, 91-49. That game was played yesterday. And then Chaska and Shakopee in a barn burner with the Hawks edging the Sabres 59-57 last Tuesday. And then also we're going to take a look at the games tonight. Well, we have tonight's game here on BEC-TV, Minneapolis Southwest at Jefferson. Kennedy goes on the road to play Ridgefield in the Nicollet War. And we're going to continue these stats in a moment, but first we're going to throw it down to the house for our national anthem. And
welcome to Bloomington Jefferson High School for tonight's home opener between the visiting Lakers of Minneapolis Southwest and your very own Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. Bloomington Public Schools expect all fans to show good sportsmanship at all athletic contests. Good sportsmanship is built on respect for all referees, athletes, coaches, fans, and the national anthem. Your cooperation is expected and appreciated. Whatever school you choose to cheer for, we ask everyone in attendance this evening to please be good sports. Thank you. And now we ask that you stand, remove your caps, face the flag, and respectfully join in the singing and playing of our national anthem. And now your starting lineups in alternating fashion. For the Lakers from Minneapolis Southwest, starting at guard, a 5'5" junior number 2, Sylvie Barnes. For your Jaguars, at guard, a 5'7" junior number 1, Emma Felt. For the Lakers, a 5'11" junior guard number 13, Virginia Johnson. For the Jags, a 5'7" senior guard number 14, Emily Minnie Roach. For Southwest, a 5'7" 8th grade guard number 14, Sunny Hill. For Jefferson, starting at forward, a 5'9" junior number 15, Abby Jo Nelson. For the Lakers at forward, a 5'8" senior number 22, Anya London. At center for the Jaguars, a 6'2" junior number 23, Angelina Chappell. And rounding out the starting lineups for the Lakers of Southwest, a 6' center junior number 23, Elsa Youngdahl. And for your Jaguars, a 5'9" junior guard number 33, Caroline Heeman. The Lakers are coached by Dan Freilich. The Jaguars are coached by Paul Roach, Jimmy Rogers, and Justin Lund. Managers Secret Clay and Kelsey Bechtold. And your distinguished officials.
So there you have them, the starting lineups for the Minneapolis Southwest, the Lakers and the Jefferson Jaguars. Getting the crowd pumped here early on the west side of town. Looking to do battle for the first time on the home hardwood. Now, just before the national anthem, we started talking about some of the games that were being played tonight. So another interesting matchup that's going on actually right now in Ridgefield is the Kennedy-Ridgefield matchup, the Nicollet War, as it is also known. This is a huge rivalry grudge match for Kennedy in really any sport. You also have St. Paul Humboldt taking on Robbinsdale Cooper at Robbinsdale Cooper. That game already is in progress. And then Marshall at Waconia tonight at 7. Waconia, one of the 3 new additions to the Metro West Conference this year, along with New Prague, to name one other school. So here we go. We are underway from Jefferson High School. The Lakers and the Jags getting it on. Southwest with the basketball to start. It's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams do in the early going. Nice movement by the Southwest Lakers. Good perimeter defense, though, by Jefferson. And that drive to the basket, contended underneath, put back basket, will find pay dirt. Elsa Youngdahl with the first bucket of the game for either team as the Lakers jump out in front by 2. Jefferson working the floor. Nice glass and nice bucket for Angelina Chappell with the response. Jefferson showing you that they can go right down the floor and answer you back, especially with the size that this offensive unit is able to present to their opponent. I mean, that's not a luxury that Jefferson has had in the past several years, but as of recent, they've definitely built the size on their team. And all I can say is that they are a force to be reckoned with, especially with how that they beat their last opponent. Here's a quick 3, and it falls well short. And the putback attempt is not going to go either for the Lakers. Jefferson trying to turn it on in transition. Quick pull-up jumper for 3, does not find the mark. Missed shot by Emily Roach, number 14, in Columbia blue and white. Jefferson playing man defense right now. Southwest trying to shake it. Nice lane and nice bucket. Anya London finds her first basket of the game and has the Lakers out in front by 2. Jefferson almost tied it. Look at how many chances Jefferson's getting. You can see that size presenting a factor down low, but then the ability to finish it off from downtown as the defense felt that one from Emma Felt, number 1 for the Jags. First three-pointer of the game. And that three-point shot, by the way, is something that these Lakers are going to have to focus on. It's actually one of our keys to the game. We'll get to that in just a second here. We'll take another look at that deep three from Emma Felt. Minneapolis Southwest slowing the pace of the game here, trying to give their offense a breather. And now they're ready to put their foot on the gas. Nice drive inside. But good defense by Jefferson's number 23, Angelina Chappell, to stay. And then Jefferson goes back down the other way and finds a breakaway basket. Jefferson 7-4. We're going to get a shove near half court as Southwest was in transition. Take another look at that basket there. Abby Jo Nelson, number 15. Such a dynamic player for Jefferson, really a great utilitarian player. Minneapolis Southwest trying to set something up really hard, and that Jefferson defense on the perimeter is making life extra difficult. Good work to get out of the jump ball. Sine Hill almost had it be a jump ball. Speaking of Sine Hill, her shot misses and finds the rebound of Angelina Chappell. Here comes Emma Felt. Abby Jo Nelson feeds inside to Chappell. Quick shot off the glass, finds Paydirt again. Here come the Lakers in transition the other way down the floor. Abby Jo Nelson is called for the foul. It's a really good job of the Lakers getting down there. Even though that they didn't get the basket, they drew the foul, and that's important because that is going to result in Anya London going to the free throw line to shoot a couple, and she will miss the front end of her 2 attempts. Take another look at the foul here on the replay. Anya London able to hit the back end of her 2 attempts and brings the Lakers within 4. Caroline Heeman is up the floor. And she goes up and she draws the foul nicely like clockwork, and she goes to the charity stripe for a couple of attempts of her own. Caroline Heeman, a very dangerous player, as we highlighted at the top of the program. We'll take another look at the foul there on Caroline Heeman. Heeman averaging 15 points a game, has a season high of 20. When you get to the 20 mark, you are definitely serious business for any opponent. And speaking of business, she brings that to the free throw line. Able to get Jefferson some more easy buckets. Jefferson right now on an 11-5 run to start the game. Oh, and that's a mishandled basketball, but good recovery. That's how you finish right there. Anya London had it, lost it, fought for it, got it back, and put back. And Simone Clay called for the foul right at the very end, as you can see there on the replay, but you really have to like the fight from Anya London, number 22. And Anya London is not able to make it a three-point play, but I like how, even though that she had that miscue there, she lost the ball near her own, or near the Jefferson basket, rather. She collected it and got it back and made a great play out of it. And Simone Clay, guilty of a travel, another turnover. Southwest. Driving down the court, but good defense is put on by Angelina Chappell. Ball, Jefferson Jaguars. Now that's how you play defense down in low, close towards your own basket. Look at this. Nothing but ball. Megan Schnokey, number 32, tried to post up Angelina Chappell, but no cigar. Heeman has it, and she works inside with it, drives, and is able to find the Jefferson bucket. Another field goal for the Columbia Blue and White, 13-7 Jaguars. It looks like we're going to get a shove on the floor, so a foul called. Minneapolis Southwest will throw it in. Jefferson already has 5 fouls. Ball goes out of play. It will stay with the Lakers. And with 13 minutes still remaining here in this opening half, 5 fouls is not a number that any team wants to be in, especially this early into a game. So Jefferson only 1 more foul to give before they put the Lakers in the bonus. And an elbow foul is called on Courtney Anderson, number 2 for the Jaguars. A little too intrusive. Anya London will throw it in for the Southwest Lakers. And we'll take another look there at that half-court foul by Courtney Anderson. Meanwhile, Southwest, here's a wide open chance, and they got it. Sylvie Barnes with the bucket for the Southwest Lakers. Had all kinds of space out on that edge for a long-range 2. Simone Clay gets it back. Here's Emma Felt, takes a 3, and she can't hit it. And going up over the top and drawing the jump ball is Hannah Bach, number 35 for the Jaguars. I mean, at first, how Hannah Bach kind of came after that basketball kind of over the back against the player that she was trying to get the ball from. I mean, it looked like an over the back may have been called, but good careful work by her. Meanwhile, Simone Clay's 3-pointer is well off the mark, and the Lakers will rebound. Here they come in transition up the floor. And they lose it in heavy traffic underneath the Jefferson basket. Ball out of play. The ball will still stay with the Lakers. Good hustle by Schoenke, number 32, to get down the floor. On the last drive for the Lakers, ball out of play, still staying with Minneapolis Southwest. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to the home opener of the 2021-2022 girls varsity basketball season for Jefferson on BEC-TV. Here's a huge pull-up 3 just off the rim, and the putback is found for the Lakers. And it's a 2-point game, but back up to a 4-point game courtesy of Emily Roach, number 14, to put it back, and a timeout called. So while these two teams are talking it over, I'd like to bring in my broadcast partner this evening, Kelvin. You know, we've already kind of seen these two teams play a little bit up and down the floor. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty close. There are some very important keys to get to in tonight's game. And so our first key to the game tonight, Kelvin, what do we got?
First up, we got the cleanup baskets.
Yep, so making sure that your big bodies get underneath and really anybody fight for those rebounds, get those putbacks, and we've seen some even second, third, even fourth chance opportunities go in or have a good chance of going in.
Yeah,
So
the Jefferson team is in a quite aggressive, and that you can see because there's been a lot of fouls.
They most certainly have, but they have no more fouls to give. It's a good point that you mentioned here, too. They have 6 fouls now, so they commit one more foul on the floor, or even if it's a shooting foul, it puts the Lakers in the bonus. The second is controlling the fast break, which Southwest loves to do. Little tricky off-balance shot for Schoenke, and she's battling for it. Jump ball is mercifully called, trying to really battle her way out of that far corner. And then the third key to the game, folks, is that perimeter defense, and we saw how important that perimeter defense is as a key to the game because we saw MFL hit one of those big threes early on to start. That shot falling off the mark. Good rebound by Abby Jo Nelson, number 15 for Jefferson. Heeman from the corner, 3, and it hits the front of the rim. And a good rebound by Southwest. Good control by Virginia Johnson. And charging up the floor, drawing the foul, Lydia Spanier, number 30 for the Lakers, going to the free throw line. Good look by our crew on the last foul committed by Jefferson, so that puts the Lakers in the bonus. And folks, if you're wondering just what the bonus is, if a team commits 7 fouls, the other team gets to shoot what's called a 1-and-1. So if you make the first free throw, you get to shoot for a second, and that's for any foul called on the floor, so a non-shooting foul. So now Jefferson has to really be careful with how physical they play here. Heeman has to kick it out. Huge 3, and Emily Roach cannot hit. Offensive rebound. Abby Jo Nelson had it and lost it. Heeman is there, and she has possession of it now. Jefferson still sticks with it. And Heeman tried to put the move on number 14, Sine Hill. And let's just say that that one didn't go according to plan. Let's have another look. I like the idea going behind the back. Just got a little tripped up.
Yeah, you can get aggressive, but if you make it too fancy, it just doesn't work.
Exactly. So that errant pass goes out of bounds. And Jefferson will have it. Number 33, Caroline Heeman, gives it to Felt. And we're back underway once again with Jefferson. On the offensive, Felt pulls up a 3. She can't hit it. Good rebound underneath by Anya London. And here she goes up the floor. Nice pass. Nice drive and kick. And the shot's off, but the putback is there. Anya London finishes with some waste management. And the Lakers are now only down by 1. Here's Heeman. Sends it in to Chappell. And Chappell and the defender she was working against are going to wind up causing a jump ball. And because the possession arrow is with the Jags, Jefferson will keep possession. Huge throw in. Here's Chappell. Jefferson trying to work the perimeter of Southwest. Here's Heeman with it. Feeds underneath. Baseline, Abby Jo Nelson has to get out of the double team. Tried to post up, and we're going to get a foul right there. Foul called on number 14, Sine Hill. Let's take another look. A little bit too grabby. You can take the ball, but you can't take your opponent's arms and hands with you. Here's Heeman, sends it into Chappell. Like the idea. Double coverage, no problem. Chappell goes up, and she eventually draws the foul. Hard work by Angelina Chappell in the paint, and it will reward her a free throw line trip. Angelina Chapel averaging 10 points per game and has so far scored 20 coming into tonight. Season high of 12. And right now, she has 4, and make that 5 for Angelina Chapel. And she currently leads the Jaguars in points tonight. It's been hard at work. Nice big stretch pass. Southwest gets the three-pointer. Virginia Johnson. Jefferson, they want to go baseline, but they turn it over, and the Lakers are now in transition. Here's the fast break. Jefferson doesn't want them getting in. Nice pull-up jumper, but it's off the mark. Rebound by Abby Jo Nelson. Emma Felt. She's open for 3. She can't hit it. Emma Felt has missed the last couple of her 3-point attempts. But you got to keep trying. Eventually, something's going to stick. Nice ball disruption by Abby Jo Nelson. And eventually it winds off a Laker out of play. Jefferson basketball. .8:31 to go here in this entertaining first half from Jefferson High School in the girls varsity season home opener. And folks, as you may have noticed, Southwest is right now holding a 1-point advantage. They have battled back hard, and they've stuck with it nicely to get this lead. Paul Roach, the Jefferson head coach, a little confused about that last call. So Southwest maintaining possession. Good disruption, though, by Simone Clay. And a travel is called at half court as Sine Hill went down, battling for the basketball. I don't know. I'll leave that for you to judge, ladies and gentlemen, that traveling call. What do you think?
Sine's been having a tough time tonight. There are multiple calls that have been made against her that she's very obviously disagreed with.
Well, I mean, you'd think for a travel you have to have clear possession of the basketball. And we're going to get another jump ball on the floor. Possession arrow goes to the Lakers. Number 22, Anya London, will throw it in. Jefferson now working their full court press. And that is an obvious blocking foul. Sine Hill tried to work through this double team, and the blocking foul called on Courtney Anderson, number 2. And again, we've been getting a lot of great looks from our crew. I will say that tonight. Kudos, guys. And the crew says thank you, says our producer Paul Fournier tonight. So there we go. The front end of the 1-and-1 is hit by Sine Hill, able to make the first. See if she can make the second. Lakers out in front by 2, and Sine Hill, nothing but sweetness from the charity stripe. She gets them both. 19-16, Southwest. For as hectic and chaotic as this game started for the Lakers, boy, they've really turned the tables nicely. Jefferson again cannot hit. And even from down underneath, as Abby Jo Nelson just could not find the touch off the glass. Uh-oh, mishandled, but good recovered ball, and put up. No good for 2. Good effort by Virginia Johnson. Another jump ball on the floor. Jefferson with possession now. was going to say on that last offensive possession for Southwest, Virginia Johnson did a really good job of recovering herself and then going up and making the shot. Even though that she didn't make it, you still have to appreciate the effort and the energy that it took to even get in that position. And that's a nice drive into the interior by Abby Jo Nelson. Shooting foul to the line for 2. Sylvie Barnes, number 2, the guilty party on that foul. Abby Jo Nelson with 2 points tonight. And now make it 3. See if the 5'9" junior can make the second. She cannot. She got the front of the rim, and her teammate Hannah Bach almost got the offensive rebound, but here come the Lakers the other way, and that shot misses. Here's Simone Clay with it. Roach now to Heeman as they work it around. Abby Jo Nelson drives. And there's going to be a foul that will be called on the floor. New subs coming in. Emma Feltz is back into the game for the Jaguars, and number 14, Sine Hill, back in for the Lakers. We get another look at the foul. See what Jefferson can do. Simone Clay, she takes a long 3, and it falls just short. Jefferson's tried all kinds of three-point attempts tonight. Meanwhile, that errant pass going out of bounds for Southwest. A turnover in Jefferson's favor, but as I was going to say, Kelvin, this three-point game for Jefferson has really fallen flat. Ever since that first 3 was made by Emma Feld, really just didn't take off from there.
Yeah, there's a general pattern that I found. Jefferson will go up for a 3 or take a shot, but then Southwest will just take the ball and head back down the court and score again. So they really got to hit those 3s, man.
I would think almost Jefferson, they need to range their shots, but I mean, when you're driving into the basket as Abby Jo Nelson did, but still not able to hit off the glass as she did, I mean, those easy baskets. I mean, if I'm Paul Roach, I would at least be calling one more timeout here before the half. I don't know, maybe if you just want to leave it till half.
Yeah, this Jaguars team definitely needs a mental restart to get them going.
Well, this Minneapolis Southwest Laker effort has been really something to watch. Here's Roach for 3, and she finally cracks the code. Jefferson from downtown, and she gives the Columbia Blue and White back the lead. Nice drive, and too hard on the touch with Sine Hill to the rim. Clock stopped with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Glad you could be with us on this Friday evening for girls varsity basketball at Jefferson High School. The Jaguars put themselves back on top, courtesy of Emily Roach. One-on-one opportunity does not go for Anya London at the free throw line. Here's Simone Clay with it, taking her time, using the screen, drives in, pull-up jumper off the front of the rim, and the Lakers with the rebound once again. Sine Hill, she's charging, and she's guilty of a double dribble down the floor. And so another turnover by the Lakers. Jefferson, boy, I got to tell you, ever since that 3, that momentum just instantly clicked back to Jefferson's favor.
Yeah, it felt like Southwest had the momentum all the way, and that 3 just changed up everything.
Right, and all it takes is one of those big baskets to really swing that momentum into the other direction. And it was Roach to do that. Speaking of which, Roach goes in, she goes up, draws the foul, and to the charity stripe, she will strut. Emily Roach tonight for the Jefferson Jaguars. 5 points total on the night, and make that 6. So a decent first half for Roach. Obviously got that big boost thanks to that three-pointer earlier, which put Jefferson back out in front by 1. Can't hit the back end of her attempts, though. Ball squirts out of play on the far side. Jefferson again fortunate here. They still keep possession. Here's Chappell. Tried to feed it to Clay. And Clay eventually saved it from going out of bounds, and here she is with a good effort by Clay on the far side. Jefferson still with possession. Here's Felt with it. Driving baseline, kicks it back out. Ooh, pass a little bit longer than anticipated. Give Simone Clay credit, she recovered nicely, but then that forced Jefferson to reset because it was a longer than expected pass. But a nice feed to Heeman underneath, and Jefferson is now starting to tack it back on again. Quick pull-up jumper from the corner. Not going to go for the Lakers. Big stretch pass to Felt from Clay. Clay gets it back at the key. Good hustle to get back down there for Southwest on defense. Angelina Chappell drives, and she hits the side of the rim, posting up. Ball goes out of bounds, and to the Lakers.
I thought that three-pointer would change something, but now it looks like it's going back to what it was before.
Well, it did change something, but it was all too brief. That's a quick off-balance shot, but she makes it work. Virginia Johnson able to sink that one through. And the Lakers now within 1. Here's Felt with it. Nice move, drives, and got a great angle on the glass with that put through for Jefferson. Nice basket by Emma Felt. 5 points on the night. Look out! Minneapolis Southwest almost turned it over. Good pressure, though, at half court by Jefferson. Angelina Chappell denying a drive baseline, and the ball is going to blast out of play to the far side. Minneapolis Southwest will stay with the possession. You could see there on that last drive for Southwest just the kind of physical presence that Chappell provides in that size too. Abby Jo Nelson not able to stop that one from going through. Barnes with the 2-point shot for the Lakers on the last offensive possession. Lakers still down by 1. Here's Heeman with it. Jefferson moving it around. Feed inside to Chappell. Kick back out. Felt. Thought about a 3. He's going to try and drive. Good disruption by the Lakers, and now Jefferson's going to have to reset. Here's Roach. Almost lost it. She got it back. Flings it in. Heeman kicks it back out to Chappell. Now to Roach again. She'll drive towards the basket, and she will draw the foul. Sylvie Barnes, second personal foul. Also becomes the 7th-team foul for the Lakers. That officially puts Jefferson in the bonus. And here's Roach. Very smooth and efficient on that last shot from the free throw line. Schoenke back into the game for the Lakers, number 32. Here's the second attempt, and Roach got that one as well. 27-24 Jefferson. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Schoenke with it. Drops it off. Nice move. And that drive baseline didn't quite work out as anticipated for Sine Hill, number 14. Gotta like the move beforehand, before the ball went out. As Sine Hill tried to go after it. And that move by Virginia Johnson. That pull-up jumper finds her teammate, and her teammate put it back.
3 seconds.
Elsa Youngdahl was able to make the shot for Southwest at the other end of the floor. Foul called as Jefferson tries to put one up the other way. And the clock stops with 1:37 to play in the first half. Virginia Johnson called for the foul. 8 fouls now total for the Lakers. Angelina Chappell at the line, and she's able to hit the back end of her free throw line trip. 2-point lead for Jefferson. Here's Johnson. Nice sliding pass. Good defense, though, by Roach on the perimeter. You like how Roach is moving her feet, because that's how you're supposed to do it. Minneapolis Southwest trying to battle for something onto the inside, but we're going to get a foul called. Clock stops with exactly 1 minute left here in the first half. And Anya London right now at the free throw line, and she got that one. Connects on the front end of her 2 attempts. Lakers now in the double bonus. Not quite able to hit the back end was Anya London, number 22. See if Jefferson tries to push for another big basket here, or are they going to drive baseline, which they did, but they got called for a travel, so another turnover for the Jefferson Jaguars. Here's Sine Hill. Nice handoff to Johnson. Johnson feeds inside to Schoenke, back out. That pull-up jumper off the glass. Found a Laker, out of bounds, mishandled Jefferson basketball. Anya London trying to make that play work for Southwest. We'll get another look here on the replay. Elsa Youngdahl not quite able to get the handle on the offensive rebound. Here's Emma Felt. Tries to drive baseline, but Schoenke denies her that opportunity. Meanwhile, Emily Roach is dropping dimes from downtown. Three-pointer for Jefferson. Southwest trying to answer with a three-point attempt of their own, and they do not find that answer. And with that, the clock hits 0, and we are at the half here at Jefferson High School with the Jaguars on top, 31-27. Final thoughts here on the first half, Mr. Calvin Amundsen-Geisel.
Well, this Southwest team just does not give up on the ball on offense. You could see there were at least 3 plays out there where the ball looked like it was going to the Jaguars, but they stuck with it and they were able to get a couple points out of it.
Right, and in those cleanup baskets, those offensive rebounding drills really do come in handy for that, don't they? And they've really battled in this game, you know, despite the fact that they knew they were going to have some size disadvantages. Minneapolis, they've held their own, and we'll see how they can do it in the second half along with Jefferson as we send it to a short break. Stick around, more basketball to come on the other side of this halftime break on BEC-TV. Welcome back inside Jefferson High School. The Jaguars are putting up quite the fight against the Southwest Lakers of Minneapolis. 31-27 as we are almost ready to start the second half. It's been quite the battle for Jefferson, though. There was a decent part of the first half where they actually trailed the Lakers thanks to a ferocious effort in the first by Minneapolis Southwest. This game is going to be quite the finish, I will say that. And folks, if you were with us for the pregame, we mentioned how these two teams are clutch in a very specific way in the second half. When you look at the Southwest Lakers, it's defense, only allowing 14 points so far in this young season. And then when you look at Jefferson, they've put up a whopping 108 coming into tonight in the second half as a team. And right now for Jefferson, the difference maker in the scoring has been Miss Felt and her three-pointers. Actually, correction, Emily Roach and her three-pointers. Emma Felt also made one, the first Jefferson three of the game. She's going to get another foul on the floor to start. But going back to how the first half ended, I'm going to bring in Kelvin Amundsen-Geisel. You look at how Emily Roach was able to put up that three, but she's been able to find ways to put up that three-pointer in for Jefferson and keep them one step ahead in this game. Kind of talk about that.
Yeah, well, she had one three-pointer that lifted the entire team. They were, like you said, they were down before, and that three-pointer set them off. It changed the balance of the game, and here they are with 31-27.
Not just on the scoreboard, momentum-wise as well. Speaking of momentum, Heeman's got a lot of it down the floor. She cannot finish. Abby Jo Nelson just swats the ball out of bounds, out of play. Yeah, those three-pointers that Roach put on the board for Jefferson really lifted the morale of this team. And typically that's how Jefferson is. And really any team is for that matter, but especially Jefferson, because all it takes is one of those big scores. And they go gung-ho over it. Here's Johnson. Gives it back. Hill driving on Felt. And no foul called. So good defense. Down close to their own basket by Jefferson. We'll take another look here. Here's the drive, and good job of playing straight up there by number 15, Abby Jo Nelson for Jefferson. Here's Caroline Heeman. Feed inside to Chappell, and Chappell connects. We want to talk about Emily Roach and how her three-pointers have been felt by the Southwest defense. You also have to look at Angelina Chappell as well. Meanwhile, Southwest able to grab a basket of their own. Jefferson now with the response. Here's Heeman driving baseline, kicks it out. Abby Jo Nelson drives. Shot off to Chappell with the offensive rebound. And how about the friendly rim for who else? Emily Roach on another Jefferson three-pointer. Emily Roach with 14 points on the night. Close but no cigar on that last layup attempt for Anya London. Here is Roach with it. They're going to double team her. They don't want her anywhere near the basketball, but that leaves Feld open for three. And Jefferson back-to-back three-pointers. And a timeout taken by the Lakers. And now the question becomes, what on earth is Minneapolis going to do about this perimeter defensive breakdown? Because these three-pointers have already caused a lot of havoc throughout the game. And now, starting out the second half, you look at a really friendly bounce made three by Emily Roach. And then when Jefferson went back down the floor on offense on their next possession, Minneapolis Southwest, they weren't going to let Emily Roach have another one of those juicy three-point chances. And they double-teamed her, but that left Emma Felt open for three. So, Kelvin, where do you start to break this down here on defense for the Lakers? Do you shift into into that zone, into that 3-2, or do you stay with the man coverage? Because you have the speed at that position. So, I mean, what would you do in this situation?
Well, last half of the game, their defense on driving was unbreakable. But now that the three-pointers are starting to pile up, you gotta change that defense up so you can cover that too. Because if you just let those three-pointers keep sliding, you may not be able to make that up.
Most certainly. And do you think man or zone coverage?
I don't know.
Huge shot not going to fall for the Lakers. Here's Heeman. Drives and connects. Didn't put too much on it. Nice follow through with the shot as Caroline Heeman, the 5'9" junior, makes it a 41-29 game for Jefferson. A drive and kick draws a foul. And the Lakers bench obviously liking that. Virginia Johnson to throw it in for Southwest. There she is to the right of your screen, number 13. We'll see how Southwest decides to work around this Jefferson defense. Simone Clay working the top of the key. Nice job sticking with it. I like how she played straight up on the move, denying a lane towards the basket on the inside, and the three-point attempt is no good for Sine Hill, but the Lakers have the offensive rebound. Johnson, a quick three, and she flushes that one through. Lakers with 32, down by 9. Here's Heeman. Slides it to Clay. Clay gives it back. Clay, nice feed out of the inside to Chappell, and there's Chappell again. You can see just how Angelina Chappell is able to dominate the paint with her size, and not too difficult to get it past to her. Meanwhile, ball fought for intensely, and a jump ball called on the floor. And the possession arrow to the Jaguars. We'll get another look here on the replay. Courtney Anderson to throw it in for the Jefferson Jaguars, and here is Simone Clay with it. Let's see what she can do. And Southwest generates the turnover, and the pass for Johnson picked off by Heeman. Heeman goes up the floor the other way, and she
What a quick turn of events.
I know, a huge breakaway basket. 45-32. Oh, you know it's turning on for Jefferson, but also Southwest. Nice finish for Sine Hill, number 14. See what Jefferson decides to do. Here's Simone Clay. She wants a three, and the shot just a little bit too far. Sine Hill drives in. Nice move behind the back, kicks it back out. Her teammate's open, and she'll take the shot and cannot connect. Elsie Youngdahl with the missed basket for the Lakers. Here's Heeman with it. Nice crossover, has to take it back out. Good defense, though, by Barnes. And Jefferson not able to connect on that offensive possession. Look out, here comes the transition game for the Lakers. Sine Hill with it. In the far corner, driving, gives it to Johnson. Johnson pulled up and cannot hit it. Ball out of play, and the Lakers will maintain possession. Last second substitution for Jefferson. That's why the throw-in took a little bit longer than expected, as Emma Felt is back out on the court for the Jefferson Jaguars. See what the Lakers do here. Nice drive around, good defense in the lane. You got 3 Jaguars in there, but a foul is called.
You could hear that one.
Oh, yeah. Even through our headsets, yeah, that was a pretty obvious foul. Again, another good look by our crew. Lydia Spanier is able to connect on the front end of her 2 attempts. You gotta like the mentality before her free throw line trip by Spanier, just driving to the basket. I'm going to go up and I'm going to draw the foul. If I make the basket, cool. If I draw the foul, that's okay too. Here's Felt with it for the Jags. Felt, she's going to drive, goes up. And there will be a foul called. And Spanier the guilty party on that foul by Southwest. It was a floor foul, by the way. We'll take another look. Here's Simone Clay. Feeds inside. Nelson kicks it back out, and here comes Jefferson. Trying to find some space. Simone Clay. Feed inside to Joe Nelson. Joe Nelson lost it, tried to save it. She does. And the Jaguars still have it. Clay for 3. And it goes in and out. That one done cheated her. And a travel by the Southwest Lakers along the baseline. Gosh, I find that hard to believe. But there it is, folks. That just happened. Jaguars still with the ball. Emma Felt. Oh. Good look by our crew on that travel. Schoenke lost her balance after getting knocked into. And so, meanwhile, with 10:40 remaining in this second half, Jefferson's showing you why they've put up over 100 points so far in this young season in the second half as a team total.
Yeah, this second half they're having tells me that this stat is not an anomaly.
It is not, and especially with when it comes to the three-pointers and with the way that they're able to generate space on that perimeter. Get another look here by our crew. And that was on that last sequence, by the way, that replay look. So obviously a strategic timeout taken there. And there is the Jefferson bench with the coaching staff, also with Paul Roach. Pretty easy to see where Paul Roach is on the bench. He's got that clipboard in his right hand. Almost ready to get going again. Emma Felt to throw it in for Jefferson. Joe Nelson tries to fight out of the corner, and she does, and gets it to Clay, and Jefferson can breathe a little easier now. And a double dribble called, turnover to the Lakers.
It looked like a brain fart by Clay. She just didn't seem to know what to do with it. And
well, let's take another look here. Yeah, she was really trying to concentrate on who she was going to get it to, but lost a handle on the dribble. Meanwhile, this drive for Jefferson results in a close but no cigar situation. Emma Felt battles for it. She gets it back for Jefferson, and she charges up the floor. Kicks it out for Heeman, a corner three, and she got it! Caroline Heeman giving that thing the old heave-ho, and it goes for the Jefferson downtown dinger. Nice drive and kick for Southwest. Wide open three off the mark as Libby Kramer couldn't hit for the Lakers, but the Lakers maintain possession. Put back basket, no! Rebecca Gendler, number 4, had a really nice effort, but cannot put it back as we get another look on the replay. And if it weren't for the scoreboard, I will say, probably many of you would think that these two teams, based on the way that they've been playing, would be tied. But again, those 3-pointers, the difference for Jefferson. And another turnover for the Southwest Lakers. And now if you're Southwest, you know you like to play fast, but you figure you need to slow the game down here. And Chapel, meanwhile, she can't hit her layup attempt. Chapel's been pretty efficient tonight, otherwise inside the paint. Nice drive, but just too hard on the touch for Schoenke. Good drive, and no basket for Courtney Anderson, number 2 for Jefferson. Here's Schoenke trying to post up on Chapel, and Chapel's gonna show her who's boss. Let's get another look at this drive here, and it's easy to see why it's so difficult to play against Angelina Chapel, and she's in the paint. Credit Southwest, though, they're still sticking with it. Play stops, and we're going to get another foul called on the floor. Emily Roach called for the personal foul. Quick pull-up jumper, hits the side of the rim. Nice job to follow the shot and put it back by Schoenke. Megan Schoenke didn't make her first attempt. She stuck with it, and then she put back her own shot. Textbook follow your shot, ladies and gents. Nice hard drive down at the other end. Meanwhile, ball out of play. So we'll see again on the replay just the kind of determination that Schoenke had on that missed shot, then put back on her own missed attempt. Excellent job, if I do say so myself. Here's Heeman. She drives for Jefferson, goes up, looked like she wanted to draw the foul. Good clean D, though, by Southwest. And they're able to turn it into a transition game, but then they're going to travel at the other end, and a turnover to Jefferson. Nice stretch pass ahead for Sylvie Barnes. And Barnes tried to pivot and pass it back to Sine Hill, as we got to see there on the replay, but just her footwork wasn't there. And all you got to do is shuffle just a little bit after you set yourself, and yep, that's a travel. Well, except if you're in the NBA. Some good looks from our crew tonight. Plenty of people in attendance here at Jefferson High School for the season opener of girls varsity basketball at home for the Columbia Blue and White. And it's been a fun night so far. 48-37, you're sitting pretty good right now.
I'll tell you what, these fans got what they paid for, man. This is a good game.
Most certainly is. I mean, for Jefferson, it's definitely panning out how they won in a big way in the second half. And compared to the entertaining first half, and it's been all Jefferson here in the second. And, you know, there has been some flashes of Laker greatness from time to time. There's Emily Roach, number 14, to pitch that one in for Jefferson. We are back underway. Here's Emma Felt, kicks it out to Heeman from the corner. She'll send it back, and the Jags working it around. Wide open three, off the mark. Courtney Anderson couldn't hit. Ball out of play. Southwest Lakers ball. Let's take another look. You don't get too many wide open chances like that if you're Courtney Anderson for the Jefferson Jaguars. And with this kind of a lead, you can take those chances. Meanwhile, a nice drive to the bucket by Schoenke, showing up nicely for the offense of Southwest. Loose ball on the floor, a scramble at half court, and a jump ball to Minneapolis Southwest.
The energy is ramping up, and so is the speed of this game.
Emma Feld just had it and lost it. That's not something we typically see Emma Feld do. And a huge three, drilled by Virginia Johnson, giving this offense a jolt. And also the Jefferson defense, might I add. Heeman drives on Johnson, baseline. Kicks it back out for Feld. Around to Roach for three, and she connects again. Emily Roach making it rain from downtown. Roach now with 17 on the night. She's having a killer outing. Nice moves on the inside, going up towards the basket, and drawing the foul is Sine Hill. She'll go to the line to shoot two. Emma Felt guilty of the foul. We'll see here some nice moves by Sine Hill, and then goes up and draws the foul. And Hill able to get the friendly bounce and the friendly glass to put in the front end of her two attempts.
I think what we're seeing here is you can be as hard as you like on offense, but if you can't play defense, it's not going to work out for you.
Great offense always starts with solid defense. Meanwhile, Sine Hill hits another free throw, and it's 51-44 Jefferson. Ooh, look out. Good thing we had that booth in front of us to block the basketball. That basketball landed right in front of us. That pass, a little bit too out of reach for Caroline Heeman. Nice read by Roach. A thievery. Here's Chappell for three, and she hits it. Angelina Chappell, a dark horse, throwing up a three, and a blocking foul down at the other end. That's the most unexpected three that we've seen tonight from Angelina Chappell, as hard as she's worked down towards that baseline and in the paint. And that's how she gets the majority of her points. But to go up and see her make that three, good variety for the big body for Jefferson, number 23. Meanwhile, number 14, Sine Hill, back at the charity stripe for the Lakers. And Sine Hill connects with that. 54-46. Jefferson with the advantage. Southwest now on their full court press. Roach, stretch pass to Heeman. Heeman tried the feed inside. Chappell back out to Heeman. Chappell. Heeman again. Three-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound by Joe Nelson. Abby Jo Nelson has it in the corner. Gets it back out to Roach. Under 6 to go in the second half. Heeman had it and lost it and recovered it though. Able to get it to Roach in time. Good recovery by Heeman. And Roach gets it out to Chappell. Feeds inside, Joe Nelson, baseline, and a nice finish, a little kiss off the glass, and Jefferson's got another big basket. Oh, that's a nice floater, connects off the glass, and in for Sine Hill on the drive. Lakers now with 48. Under 5 to go, Simone Clay gives it to Chappell. Even almost had it, lost it, got it back out. Jefferson looking to reset. Clay just barely got it, gives it to Chappell. Now here's Roach, feed inside to Joe Nelson. Goes up and a very awkward looking shot. Does not fall off the glass. 56-48. Lakers only down by 8. Oh, that was a good opportunity missed by Elsie Youngdahl, not able to connect for the long two. Simone Clay with it. You can see that press again, put on by the Lakers. And Clay is able to jolt down the other end and get onto the friendly side of the court. And then smartly, the Jefferson bench and head coach Paul Roach will call a timeout. And right now, if you're the Minneapolis Southwest Lakers, those three-pointers, if Jefferson is going to win, and in all likelihood, they're probably going to win this one based on how the momentum is going and how the score is right now. I mean, if you're the Lakers, those three-pointers, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. But, I mean, if you are Minneapolis Southwest, I would keep going to the well. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is, Calvin, on this here, and I got to tell you, it hasn't been easy all game, but I think the Lakers are going to come back in this one.
I think Southwest has to slow it down a little bit. I mean, it's just this game is going really quick. And they're trying to get these points in. If they can just slow down, get their heads back into it, and just like slowly start putting those points in, I think they can win this.
Exactly. And the other reason why I suggested that they probably should go to the well, they should drive to the basket, is because Jefferson has 5 team fouls. They have only 2 more fouls to give. Actually, 1 more to give, rather, for Jefferson before Southwest is in the bonus. Southwest only has 2 team fouls. So if you can get Jefferson to commit those fouls, you're in not too bad a shape. Well, she just keeps on doing it. Probably many people are wondering after that huge Jefferson 3 by, who else? Emily Roach again. People are wondering what she had for breakfast this morning. Because whatever that is, get me on some of that. Ball out of play. And the ball will stay with the Jaguars and Emily Roach to throw it in. Down to Heeman. And from this point on, Southwest trying the full court press. Get a last look at that replay and that ball going out of bounds. Jefferson, they're going to stay outside, and Roach almost made that 3. Southwest is lucky that that shot did not go from downtown again. Pull-up jumper is off the mark by Sine Hill. Under 3 to go here at Jefferson High School, with the hometown Columbia Blue and White up 59-48 right here on BEC-TV. Alex running alongside Calvin Amundsen-Geisel and our crew. Good rebound underneath by Elsie Youngdahl, number 23 for the Lakers. Here's Hill. Good screen, but Jefferson's able to keep Hill outside for the most part, outside of the paint, but Sine Hill is able to put back the basket on a nice touch. Kissing that glass and putting it in, right on the fly. Clock stops with 2:23 to go, 9-point game. It's a pretty good shot, arcing it right over Angelina Chappell, and Angelina Chappell's been dominant in the paint tonight. Great to see a lot of the young Jefferson girls basketball fans out tonight, as well as many other family and parents and other relatives, whatever. And yeah, there we go. We got some more young fans tonight from Jefferson. Everyone's having a good time. Also looks like Max Manowar, our camera operator, is also getting to that groovy fun down there. Everyone's having a good time tonight, I gotta tell you. Yeah, there you go, Max. Well, I gotta tell you, these games are a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's definitely a dance party in here tonight.
I'd be dancing too if my headset wouldn't fall off.
All right, now that dance party's over, let's get to the basketball party. And Jefferson working the floor on their offensive possession nicely, moving it around. Here's Simone Clay with it. Caroline Heeman. Chappell feeds baseline to Joe Nelson, and Joe Nelson will find pay dirt. 11-point game, Jefferson out front, under 2 to go. Quick pull-up jumper, the three-pointer off the mark from Johnson, and it will skip and hop its way out of bounds. And Jefferson will throw it in. Let's get another look at that beautiful baseline feed and finish by Jefferson on the last offensive possession. Abby Jo Nelson with the finishing bucket. Here's Roach driving and missing hard off the glass. Big stretch pass ahead. Whoa! Anya London, welcome to the rodeo. Simone Clay called for the foul. Jeez, oh Pete. We want to talk about getting yanked. Southwest. Not able to turn that possession into points just yet. Schoenke tried on the drive, but no cigar. Baseline drive and an even better block by Angelina Chappell on Sine Hill driving to the hoop. I gotta tell you, Chappell's been making plays like that all night. How about that finish?
She was almost behind the net.
Good vision, good mechanics by Megan Schoenke to finish that one off. A waste management basket underneath for Southwest. But it's not going to do much in trying to turn the tide of this game in their favor. And with under a minute to go and with the momentum Jefferson has carried throughout the second half and continuing even to now, yeah, this game is pretty much over. I hate to break it to you Lakers fans, but this one's pretty much in the bag for the Jefferson Jaguars, and a great way to open the season at home in front of the home fans. Although that's not to say that Southwest played a bad game by any means, and I don't think that the scoreboard is really telling of how this game has been played. Because Southwest, I mean, if there was no scoreboard on here, and I said this earlier, if there was no scoreboard on our screen, or even in the gym for that matter, you wouldn't even know that one is approximately around 10 points ahead of the other. Jefferson with the 9-point lead, by the way. And another intentional foul to stop the clock. See the foul there put on by Anya London. That was an intentional foul to stop the clock. Lakers have one more foul to give, by the way. And there's that intentional foul again, like clockwork. Stops the clock at 34. No more fouls to give for the Lakers. And one more floor foul, or a shooting foul should that occur, will send Jefferson into the bonus. Then we're going to get a timeout by the Lakers. So these two teams are taking a moment to reconvene. Let's take a look at some of the upcoming games for both of these two squads. For Jefferson, we start out with their game on the 7th of December. So that would be next week on Tuesday. They are right back here hosting the Shakopee Sabres. And then for the Lakers, they go on the road to face the Polars of Minneapolis North. Also on December 7th, next week on Tuesday night. Also included in the Jefferson schedule, might I mention, we're also going to get to see Jefferson play the three newest members of the Metro West Conference this year: Waconia, Orono, and New Prague. Emily Roach makes this game an 11-point-1. Wide open three-pointer, connects! Rebecca Gendler for Southwest with a too little, too late three-pointer, although it was a pretty good looking three. She took her time in space. Let's get another look here on the replay. Wide open. And nice follow through with the shot too. Good mechanics. Didn't try and place the ball too much. She just let it roll.
Like I said before, they just slow it down, they get their spots, they get it in, they get those points.
And that would have really helped them much earlier in the second half.
And it looks like we have Dance Party 2.0 going on over here. There it is.
There it is.
The
It's our
whole
camera
game.
operator, Max Van Warren, getting the crowd pumped up. Man, those bleachers are really moving at the north side of the gym. I gotta say, if you get more people over in that section of the stands, there's Max. I was gonna say with those stands may be reaching critical mass if there were many more bodies over there, but it's built to handle it. 19.4 seconds to go in this one. Emma Feltz at the free throw line for Jefferson. Emma Feltz looking to add to her 8-point total tonight. And cannot. And speaking of point totals on the night, Calvin, when you look at this Jaguars offense, there's one player that I'm looking at, and she has amassed a whopping 22 points thanks to a bountiful feast of three-pointers.
Yeah,
That would be
Roach.
and that would be Emily Roach.
Yeah, she's been on fire all night tonight.
She might be 5'7", but let me tell you, she plays like she's 7'5". Meanwhile, Emma Feltz hits that free throw. There is Andrew Grund, one of the many hardworking volunteers tonight, covering this one for you. Andrew's one of the coolest people that you'll meet. If you ever run into Andrew, he's one of those people where you have to meet him at least once. Super cool guy to get to know. Like all of our hardworking crew here tonight. I got to say, BC is a very awesome family to be a part of. And folks, you are included in that family, and we would like to thank you for that and taking the time out of your Friday night to spend it with us here at Jefferson High School, watching the Jaguars march on victorious. Although the game is still technically not over, and Emily Roach can add a cherry on top, or many more cherries on top, to her already gargantuan total of 22 points. There's one of our other cam ops. Hey, how's it going? By the way, shout out to Adam Rich, who was the last camera op you saw. Just want to give him a shout out. He's been doing really good. He's operating the camera you're seeing now. And the buzzer sounds at Jefferson High School. This one with a second half surge. Jefferson with an onslaught of threes courtesy of Emily Roach, and a 23-point performance has led the Jefferson Jaguars to victory in their season home opener on BEC-TV over the Southwest Lakers, 65-55 your final. And Calvin, this was a very entertaining game to watch. The first half, very competitive. It couldn't go either way, but then when the threes started to fall, and we kind of saw this at the tail end of the first half too, when Roach started just knocking three after three after three in, and it did not stop. And it continued through the second half and really gave this Jefferson offense the spark that they needed. Even the defense a little bit with the energy they needed to outlast the Lakers in this one. Final thoughts, Calvin, on this one?
Yeah, I think just once they came out of the gate in that second half and they just pumped all those points in, that was kind of the killer in the end. You know, it didn't feel that way during the game, but, you know, they just kept up that onslaught. They didn't even have to put in that many points in towards the end, but they just kept the defense there. They got all those points in. That's what gave them the win today.
Well, I know that you also pointed out, too, now for Southwest, they go on to face Minneapolis North, but I think, as you pointed out, if they slow that game down, they'll be in much better shape for the next match. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, Jefferson came out really quick. And so I think that disrupted their timing. And so if they could just slow it down next time, make sure they got all their pieces together, just put those points up, they should be a much better team next game.
Well said. Well, that'll just about do it for us here on BEC-TV's girls basketball night in Bloomington. The Jefferson Jaguars open the season at home with a 65-55 win and a monster game by Emily Roach. And alongside of our hard-working, amazing broadcast crew, I'm Alex Redding, alongside Calvin Amundsen Geisel, signing off from Jefferson High School. Have a great night, everybody.